Welcome to Live from the Lake, a weekly podcast where this awesome family passionately discusses music amongst several other things because we love you, we want to make you happy, and we enjoy spending time together as a family. My name is Jeremy.
I'm Jen.
I'm Mason. And I'm Noah.
And welcome to the show. Let's dive in. I would like to start this week's podcast with the sad news of the loss of Karl Wallinger, who was World Party. I think he was the band World Party. I think he had some musicians that he worked along with from time to time. But World Party, put the message in a box. Amazing. Ship of Fools, great records. Goodbye Jumbo, I think is the name of one of the records.
Yep.
I've been listening to him for a very long time. He's one of the ones that I didn't get to see. I never saw him play live, which I feel a bit ashamed of. I also feel like he didn't come around very much. Do you ever remember him coming to town?
No.
I might remember once, in the 90s or something, but
I don't remember him ever coming and I feel like if he had come, you would have made an effort to go. You're really good about things like that.
I would have. I learned a lesson. Did I ever tell you this? I learned a lesson. You guys, are you paying attention?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah. I was working in high school. I was working, and we would listen to the radio all day long at work. And one day, over the radio on XRT in Chicago, they announced that Lou Reed had died. And I had not seen him. And I was completely devastated because I was in love with his music, as I still am today. And it was like, oh my God, he died. And I didn't get the chance to see him, which happened with Zappa. Zappa died in 93, I think, or something. I was in high school and I didn't get the chance to see him. But Lou, they had announced, had died, and then it was wrong. It was bullshit. Like they had wrongfully freaking announced that the death of Lou Reed on XRT in Chicago.
Was that him or was that Petty?
No. That was
that
both,
happened with Petty too.
But Petty was
actually on his
knew
deathbed, and he was actually dying, or he had died and the family didn't want it out yet, or something.
There was something weird.
There was something weird there. But Lou Reed was like alive and well, and
for years after.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I saw him a couple of times after that. But anyway, I didn't get the chance to see Karl or World Party. Bummed about it. And I'm glad that we went to see the Jayhawks. I feel like the Jayhawks have a similar kind of vibe. They make me feel the same way. And actually, Karl looked a lot like Gary from
the Jayhawks.
From the Jayhawks. Anyway, sad day. Rest in peace, Karl. You had a profound impact on me and millions of other people. So, sad day today. I've got a question for you guys, and this is kind of a surprise. I learned. You guys know the band Semisonic?
Yes.
Yeah, Closing Time.
Yeah, Closing Time.
Yep.
Do you guys know any of the people in the band or know anything about the band?
I know Closing Time, and that's it.
I don't know anything about the band.
I can't say that Closing Time was really a song that I listened to and was like, I need to dig into this band more. It's not a bad song. It's just not.
It's a great song.
I just kind of took it for face value.
They play it at the end of the night at the bar.
Yeah, I kind of just take it for face value. Assumed that there wasn't really anything going on there.
Noah, do you know anything about them?
Nope.
So what's there to know, Dad?
Something.
Well, the lead singer, the lead singer of the band Semisonic, his name is Dan Wilson. And I learned about him because actually I was setting up the Facebook page for the Live from the Lake podcast, and I was on Facebook for the first time in years. And an ad, a post or whatever came from Chris Stapleton, who had basically said, shout out to Dan Wilson, my boy. It was a picture of him and Dan. He's like, I met him years ago, and we've been writing music together ever since. And I was like, well, who's that? And so I did a little bit of research, only to find that this dude is like absolutely insane. This guy has...
This is the guy from Semisonic.
This is Closing Time.
Okay.
This dude, first of all, he's a musician, a singer, a songwriter, a visual artist. He actually makes art.
Okay.
And a record producer. Total badass. So he's cool. But he's got 3 songs on Adele 21, including Someone Like You.
He wrote that?
He wrote it. I think he either wrote it or
co-wrote
it. He wrote it or co-wrote it
that's
with
a big song.
with Adele.
Yeah, that's an amazing song.
He has freaking. So the big thing here was he had just got nominated for a Grammy for the new Stapleton song White Horse, and they actually won it. And so he was nominated for 2 Grammys, one with John Baptiste, which I think was the second song that he's done with him, and then a second with. So he had a country Grammy and like a pop Grammy going at the same time,
or R&B, yeah, something.
Yeah. But totally unbelievable. He's got attachments to crazy people, including I think there's one with Taylor Swift. There's Adele, the Dixie Chicks, and many others. So unbelievable.
It's interesting that he sings Closing Time, but has such a strong tie to the country music genre. Clearly, I mean, he's writing songs with Chris Stapleton, and pretty much everybody else you mentioned is country except for Adele. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Taylor Swift's not country anymore.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, Stapleton's one of those guys too, where he's got 50 songs that you never realized are his songs, and then decided after he already had 20 songs that were super duper popular that he was going to go out on his own and record his own album. I mean,
the dude's unbelievable.
There's people like that but there's people like that, like Dan Wilson is apparently one of them, where it's like, I knew that they did this, but I didn't know that they did anything else. And unless you like look into it, you don't realize that they're anything special.
Yeah, they're just all over the place.
Exactly.
They're just all over the place. It's unbelievable.
Who knew?
What a stud. I was excited to hear about that. And you know what? I like the song Closing Time.
Dan Wilson.
Dan Wilson.
Yeah, I don't it's not a bad song at all. Good song.
Yeah.
Arguably a little overplayed, but
yeah, it's got its niche, and it comes out, and it is
exactly.
What it is.
It's we're playing Closing Time because it's Closing Time, but whatever. It's a good song.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, great.
Great cameo in The Office. I actually, one of my buddies today sent me a TikTok of there's a clip in The Office where it's actually Ed Helms, the guy that plays Andy Bernard, has his like Cornell a cappella group there performing for them, and his like the big thing is he used to sing Faith, the George Michael song, when he was in college, and one of his like friends that was in the group is played by Stephen Colbert, and so they go to perform Faith by George Michael, and he's all dressed up like George Michael, and they pull up Stephen Colbert on the TV, and he starts singing it, and he's like, what the hell, this is my solo song, whatever. And then it cuts to a clip of just Ed Helms talking to Stephen Colbert over like Skype or whatever, and they start getting into an argument, and he's like, you know what, and Colbert looks at him and he's like, you know what, I'm going to challenge you. You can go get 10 alums from any year, whatever, and then we'll have a sing-off. And I'm so confident that I'm going to win. I won't even warm up. And he's like, yeah, whatever. You're not even that good. And he looks at him and he goes, really? Because Trey Anastasio, he goes, ask Trey Anastasio, because he said, hey, Rob, nice pipes. And lays it out. So I got a text from my buddy Sean today who was like, hey, Phish reference in the office. And I was like, yeah, they do that. It's but then I was thinking about it. I think the Phish fans in general and the people who work it into things like that, like one of the writers is a Phish fan and put that in the script.
The people who love Phish find a way to
find really subtle ways to like drop it in. Like there's that the reporter
Katy Tur.
Yeah, Katy Tur.
Yeah,
who
She's always doing it.
Yeah.
It's so
She's
hilarious.
awesome.
Exactly. It's
I
great.
saw one with Dave Matthews, weatherman, who does the same sort of thing. Where he just,
but he's a Dave guy?
yeah, he's like, it's tripping Billy's in whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm like,
What does that mean?
I don't know. I mean, but it's
Meteorologically, what the hell are billies?
what are you saying?
It's
Okay,
so hot, the
I
ants are
have
going
a
to
funny
start
thing.
marching.
This is not musically related, but it is a weird thing that my grandma said today. Two things, actually, I learned. So first I learned over the weekend that she, growing up, when it was time to change the clock for daylight savings time, in the summer, they called it fast time. My mom told me that, and I was like, that is so weird. Why? So I asked my grandma, she's like, I don't know, that's what we called it. So I looked it up. That's what it was originally called when they started it in 1918. It was called fast time in the summer.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
Means you start your day fast. Sun's up as quick as you are.
Fast.
I guess.
Fast time.
Out the door, into the fields.
The days that go by fast as opposed to the winter days where they drag on, I have no idea. The other thing she said today was, I said something was stuck, and she goes, like a hair in a biscuit, and I was like,
Ew.
what?
Ugh.
She goes, she goes, what's everyone doing? And I said, just hanging around. She goes, oh, just hanging out like a hair in a biscuit. And I said, what? She goes, oh yeah, that's what we always used to say. I was like, that's disgusting.
Lovely.
Gotta love hair and food products.
I saw a good quip about daylight savings time today on Facebook. Someone I guess apparently it was like a chief of a tribe was consulted on this newfound like thing when it first came into existence, daylight savings time, and the quote that was shared around was, only a government could walk around and try and convince its people that if you took a rug and took the first few inches off the beginning and sewed them onto the end, that somehow the rug was longer. That's about it. Thanks, Ben Franklin, you piece of shit.
Was it him?
Pretty sure.
Interesting.
Pretty sure.
I mean, it's all just because they needed the kids.
Although
to
Mom
be
said
able to-
1918 or something. That's not.
What I read was that it was started during Woodrow Wilson's presidency.
I mean, the idea was so that the chillins could get home from school
It's
and
also
still
like
have it light out.
it could have
Labor.
been an idea before it was written into law. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Free labor.
Or certain states could have adopted it, and then it became
Yeah, I
a
don't
nationwide thing.
Yeah, so it was still bright outside when the kids got home.
It
from
makes
school
no
and they could
sense
work the
now.
farm. No, let it be
it
light
makes
out.
no sense.
No,
Ugh.
it's dumb, and we keep pretending that we're gonna like pass legislation to end it, and we don't, and then it's annoying. And
At
then
least in Illinois.
and it sucks. And you guys know, it screws me. It even screwed me up this. I almost got away with it because we stayed up late the night before. I got up late. All the clocks like just change by themselves now, except for
The kitchen.
yeah, and Noah.
Noah.
Except for Noah does it. But so I'm sitting there and I'm exhausted because I was up late and it was like, one of those days. It was a Sunday and I'm like,
Oh, the fight was on the night
you were out of
before,
town. Oh
and
yeah.
I was gone.
Yeah. O'Malley.
Champ.
Did he do it? Did he win?
Yeah, he won.
He won.
Oh, we never even talked
Oh,
about
it
it.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a fun one.
Beat up on
We had
Cheeto
had
Oil.
fun here too, but
Oh, it was a blast.
it was fun. And anyway, so stay up late, get up, phone. I'm living off my phone all day. It's like a short day. I'm laying on the couch. You're not in town. You fucking left me for days on end. So I didn't eat for it any day. No.
16 frozen pizzas later.
No. Although I did have a frozen pizza while you were gone. Anyway, it's I'm laying there and there's a clock on the wall or on the shelf.
On the shelf.
And it says it's 10 o'clock. And I'm like, oh man, it's 10 o'clock. And then I look at the microwave and the microwave and the stove, and they say it's 11 o'clock. And I'm like, damn it. And I get up and I change those back to 10 o'clock, which was the absolute wrong thing to do. This is showing you the state of mind that I was in. Well, like, what am I doing?
Wait, this is
then I
Sunday
look at my
night?
phone. I'm like, wait a minute. It's 11 o'clock. That clock's. I got all screwed up. It just always screws me up.
Spring forward.
I know.
Fall back.
It doesn't matter that we spring forward and we fall back. What matters is that we change the clock.
Springtime, so you would never move the clock to earlier times.
I understand that, but
Right.
I totally get it. All I'm saying is, to me it doesn't matter. It just screws me up that we play with the 1 hour, and that 1 hour is enough to jack me up every single year, twice. And I just wish it would go away.
You know,
Yeah.
I think we could appease everyone. Let's just call it at half an hour. 30
Sure.
minutes.
30 minutes. Make everybody happy.
No. It's 10:30, Jim. Don't you remember?
Yeah.
You show up to the office late.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that it's only an hour. Like, in real life, just hear me out for a minute.
Not in
Don't you
pretend
feel
life.
no, stop. Don't you feel like when you go to California, like, you know the time is 2 hours behind, but it doesn't. I don't know.
It doesn't mess with you nearly
It
as
doesn't
much.
mess with you as much. So is it because it's like anticipated, or because you start
I don't
the
know.
day this way and
I
then
think
you get
it's-
on a plane and then you get off and it's a different time instead of waking up and it's a different time?
I think it has more to do with the sunrise and sunset and like your body rhythm. Like
Yeah.
you're going to be a little out of whack when you're on vacation, but the sun is still rising and setting at a consistent interval to that area. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's 2 hours later because the sun actually rises 2 hours later.
I don't
and
know.
sets
I
2
know it's a
hours
real
later.
thing. Like, there's all sorts of there's statistics on lack.
Oh, it's like really bad. People kill themselves, get divorced, like does bad things to the world.
Yeah, that's true. And then there's also like it's bad for the economy. Like, it screws things up. Like, people are late, people miss meetings, people miss things. People get groggy. They're groggy and shitty at work.
Okay.
People like it actually
And it-
messes with people.
Yeah, I would assume it probably jacks up like the whole following week at least.
Yeah, I mean,
It's got to do something.
it's
not
1
great.
hour. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but it is a thing.
Okay.
For me, it just confuses me, and then I'm like, is it this way or that way? Is it
So-
this time or was
What
it that
time is it actually?
Yeah.
My brother.
What time was it yesterday?
So I saw my brother, and he told me that he set his clock back
way.
before he went to forward before he went to bed, so that he would be up in time to go to church in the morning on Sunday. But it's a new clock. He just got it, and there's something in it, like somehow. So the clock's jumped forward on its own. So he woke up. He
An
was
extra-
still an hour
extra
early.
hour early?
Like, he was supposed to be up at 7. So before he went to bed, he was like, "Oh, spring forward," and he set it from 11 to 12, and then the clock went from 1 to 3. So he got up
Yeah, I
at
got it.
7 instead of 8. He was like, "So, I had an extra coffee. I
He's like,
sat
It's like the-
around."
He's like,
It's
I
like
was
the-
trying to be responsible, and it did it on its own. And
You guys know
got me
anybody
up an
that
extra
like got
hour
up
early.
and went to work on like Saturday by accident?
I mean, like this week or
Yeah.
in general?
No. Like, I have come across a couple of instances of that in my life, where it's like, oh, I woke up,
Oh yeah, no, that's happened to me.
I ran
for
to
sure.
work, and then I got there and was like, oh shit,
Nobody's
It's
here.
Saturday.
Yeah, I
Or,
did
like,
that.
That
rolling
would
out,
really
rolling
piss
out of
me
bed
off.
in the summer and being like, I gotta go to school.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
did. I definitely did that a couple times where I'd like, oh shit, it's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna get in so much trouble. I'm
Yeah.
3 hours
There were
late for
times-
school and it's a Saturday.
There were times where maybe I like thought I was scheduled to work. I don't remember. Like I've never had a
Actually got
consistent
in the
enough
car
of a
and
job where
went.
it would. Well, my point was that it's not. Literally no job I've ever worked has been start Monday and Friday basically.
Yeah.
So, but like,
When you worked
You know.
for us, it was
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit. Yeah.
but it was also pick my own hours and
Well,
work
and it
from
was
home,
COVID, so
like,
what day
that
was
doesn't
it
count.
ever?
COVID.
The
Walked away
the
forever.
point I was getting at was that, there were definitely times where maybe I was on my way to work or I got to work and it's like, oh, you're not on the schedule. Shit. Okay. It's like, and then of course there were more times than that you just like lurch, especially when I was opening restaurants and stuff. It's like you just pop awake at 5:30 in the morning. You're like, I know there's somewhere I gotta be, and it's like, shit, no, I don't. I work at 3 in the afternoon.
That happened to me.
I've done that.
That
I've
happened to
gone
me
work-
yesterday, where it was like I had like a 8 a.m. meeting, and I thought I had a 8 a.m. meeting, and I got up, and it was like 7, and I was like, oh, I gotta go, because I thought it was I thought it was I just screwed up. I don't know, whatever. It's the time, man. Not good.
It's whack.
Stop screwing with it.
Here's a real brain bender. I heard about this the other day.
A brain bender.
I may have already shared this with you. If we just swapped over to a system that used 13 months instead of 12, they could all be 28 days exactly long, which means that the first of the month is always the same day of the week every month. Every day of the month corresponds, like, oh, the 7th, I know that's another Monday or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like for the whole year, the days of the week are just locked, and you're
Do
you know what I mean?
Like what for us? For I don't want to talk too much about work, but at work, like that's like it's like, oh, we'll pay him this bonus monthly, and it's like, well, it's not going to be. It's every 4 weeks. And it's like, oh yeah,
right.
Because of the days, it
There's
just
a
everything
distinction.
everything gets a little bit screwed up, and
If
then
we
things
moved-
fall on different days. It screws with the biweekly payroll. It screws with a lot of different things. It's a freaking problem, man.
Yeah.
If we move to
Nobody's
a
moving to
13-month
13 months.
calendar,
We
would
can't
still
even
have
get
a leap
move
year?
one. We can't even get them to move one fucking hour. We're not going to
Oh,
get them
no.
to like add a month.
to the calendar.
I
What are we
mean-
gonna
and
call
that would
it?
be like an international.
That would be
vote.
so fun to come up with like the contest to call.
Well,
The
What are we
the
going to
new
call
month.
the 13th month?
Well, but it's also like it used to be 10 months, and then they added July and August for Julius Caesar and Augustus.
There's more to that story. That's not how
But
it worked.
they're named
exactly.
after those two. That's not. I'm not saying they added them because of that, but they did at
I think that's
some
what
point,
You said.
No,
add
that's
2
not.
months.
Well,
I'm
okay.
teasing.
and they are named July and August after Julius and Augustus.
They're named. Yes, they're named accordingly to
Augustus-
because
Augustus
of the Julian
Gloop.
calendar.
Augustus
Yeah.
Gloop. So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, that whole thing is weird. I don't see it
So
changing.
13
anytime
times
soon.
28 is 364.
So
Well, that
you'd
doesn't
have
work.
to have that one extra day.
Yeah, New Year's Day, which isn't a day of the week anymore. We've just decided that it just counts as a day off.
it's just a
That's
freebie.
bonus day. Yeah,
It's not
It's
a day
just
of
a
the week.
freebie.
It totally works. And then leap day.
Extra.
Every 4 years you have a leap day, and that same story. No day. It's not a
get-
day of the week. It's
it just
just a day
doesn't
off.
exist.
you get two.
No, it
New
does
Year's
exist,
New
but-
Year's Eve is 24 hours long, or is 48 hours long on leap years.
Are they outside?
Yeah, I got to get coach.
Okay.
Just stay up for 24.
So I
could hear them, I
learned
just couldn't hear where
something
they-
today that I thought I actually learned a couple of things that were pretty interesting when I was doing my research this week. But today, literally like an hour ago, I learned about this stingray called Charlotte. Have you guys heard of Charlotte the stingray?
Oh, I have.
Can't say I have.
All right, well check this out.
I think I know what you're about to talk about.
Charlotte the stingray. Guess where she is? Guess where she's located?
Australia.
No, she's in America.
She's in the International Space
If it's what I think,
If
it's
she's
what
in
I'm thinking
America,
of-
she's in an aquarium somewhere.
Charlotte,
Or a zoo.
come on, guys! Like she's in
The shed.
Charlotte's a postmaster in Virginia.
She's in North Carolina.
Oh,
That was
okay.
close.
Charlotte is a stingray in North Carolina.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and Charlotte is
Is she in a tank all by herself?
no, she's
Oh.
not. She's in a tank
with people.
She's in a tank with 5 male sharks, and she has been for the past 8 years. And she's
Oh, that's
pregnant.
right. And she's pregnant.
We're talking the Mother Mary of
The stingray world.
the stingray world.
Interesting.
So we're about to get
a shark ray?
A shark ray?
exactly the first ever shark ray, or the Jesus ray. One of the two.
The immaculate stingray reception.
Wow.
An immaculate reception.
How lucky we will be in either scenario.
Yeah.
Pretty
Okay, so
interesting.
you just definitely like created a new nightmare for me. Shark
shark
ray,
ray?
like I'm thinking.
Oh, I'm thinking it flutters
no,
around like
I'm
a
thinking
stingray, but has the
with
teeth.
massive amounts of teeth and probably a dorsal fin on it, just to be
And
a little
then-
extra
no.
scary.
And then
Full-
and then the
And the barb in the back.
don't forget about the Steve Irwin died by stingray.
Well, that's what. No, that was a manta ray. I was going to say the
Oh.
only ray I know of is the one that ended Steve.
yeah,
Yeah, fuck that manta ray.
thing was huge.
Took a hero from us.
So,
He was
so
cool.
that well, so then we. Does it say
Passion.
anything about how many babies a stingray is likely to have?
No, I didn't.
You didn't
do
go
any of
too
that.
far into
I'm
there?
not-
Well, I'm
This-
wondering
we
if-
should have saved this for the guest episode
Like,
where we
would this
have
be
a
considered a
zoologist on,
new-
you know.
yeah,
species?
someone
Yeah,
from.
when we get Bindi Irwin.
We have, we have the Shed Aquarium in Chicago. We have the Shed, isn't it the art house, like the Shed something?
No, Adler.
Oh,
Yeah, Adler Planetarium.
Adler Planetarium, Adler Art House.
Adler
or
Art Center.
Art Center. Yeah.
Adler.
All right, whatever.
Sorry.
Close.
The where I worked when I was growing up at the fresh fish place, the lobster tank was built by Mr. Shed.
John G.
John G. JG. JG Shed.
Really?
Yep. Thought that was interesting.
Wait,
I
like
didn't know he built aquariums. I don't know
It
much
wasn't
about
an
those
aquarium.
people.
It was like a
Tank.
It was like a thing on the floor that had rocks around it and then had filtration in it.
It was easy to grab
That
lobsters.
nobody really gave a shit about.
Like
It
a-
was like just bubbling water. And then
like a really low grade koi
So
pond, but
could
lobsters.
could a customer come in and just grab their own lobster?
Behind the counter.
No, they couldn't. A professional had to do it. I was a professional.
Did you use your hand?
Starting
or
at age
like
14.
A,
no.
A machine? Like
I
a-
would. We
a
had a
thing?
long net. We had a long net.
Oh.
And there was one story of a very pushy, pain in the ass customer that annoyed the shit out of the professional, whichever professional it was. And that guy picked up a lobster, and she was like, "Not that lobster, that lobster." And then he got it, and then she was like, "Not that lobster, that lobster." And it went on for like 20 minutes, and then the guy threw a lobster at her.
Yep.
He was like, "Fuck this," and he threw a lobster at her, and he left and took his apron off and quit on the spot.
And his
Like,
badge.
I'm fucking done.
Was that your last day?
I'm turning in my professional
Fuck you,
designations.
lobster bitch.
Turn in your credentials
I'm
now.
done. I'm done. I resign.
I'm no
from
longer
lobster,
I have no
I'm no,
lobster,
I'm
a
no
lobster
longer a
tamer.
professional lobster puller.
lobster wrangler.
Yeah, I don't.
Lobster cowboy.
I'm not in that game anymore.
All the
When you would
Lobster
get them, did they
safarian.
already have the rubber
yeah,
bands
they all
on them
had
when
rubber
you got
bands
them?
on them. They're just they were fine.
So you didn't
There
have
was
to
no
even
harm.
put the rubber
I was
bands
never
on
in
them.
harm's way.
I
Never
saw,
in harm's
I saw
way.
a great
Never
video
once.
online of some people that bought a lobster from a fish market just to let it live, and they took it around in a blanket,
And then
in
it
the
died.
park and shit. And halfway through the video, they were like, "Yeah," and then we realized we don't know what lobsters eat, so it became very sluggish and.
And
Well, and it's
needed
not
water?
in the water
Yeah, they
anymore
ate it.
because you're taking it
It's
for a
amazing
walk.
to me how many people think that there are animals that are just dying to experience the world we live in. Like,
Look,
maybe they're not. Maybe your parakeet really didn't want to go to the grocery store with you today.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some
It's
weird
weird.
things.
There's
Well, and then you get the emotional support peacock on the airplane. Like,
Right.
or the
Really?
people
Where
that
are we
want to
going with that?
reintroduce black bears and grizzlies and other bears into populations of massive civilization. Like they want to bring bears back to California. There are people that are like, "Oh yeah, we need a."
push to bring the grizzlies back. Like, yeah, where are they gonna go?
I don't know. Well, there's just a lot of holistic optimism that does not consider the vicious, brutal nature that is nature. you know,
or that it is people.
Well, and it's also like they left
yeah.
because there's
Like,
not
there's
room
no
for them
there's-
anymore.
Yeah, like we took all, we knocked
Where do
everything
you want
down.
them to be?
in the case of the bears, totally. My point is
Yeah.
just generally like, oh, let's, you know, you shouldn't hunt deer. Let them live till old age. It's like they don't live to old age.
Well,
If
and
it-
they're
you know what I mean?
overpopulating in some areas, which is why
and
they're
then what happens
being
is that
hunted.
you start seeing way more like car crashes and fatalities where you're killing
Right, there's
deer and
deers
people.
everywhere on the side.
The
of
thing
the
is
road.
we take, I read something that, before we, had been here for too long, prior to us being here for so long and building things the way that we've done it, that a squirrel could travel from Canada to Florida without touching the ground.
Sure.
trees.
Think about that. Like,
I bet it's still possible. I bet there's a route. I bet that squirrel YouTube, there are guys out there that are like, using this one simple trick, I was able to. I don't know.
I mean, Mark
It's like
Rober
a
did
dude
a whole
perfect
like
squirrel that just goes back and forth.
totally.
Nails
Mark
it every
Rober had
time.
the whole like squirrel obstacle course. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
he did a second one.
Who did?
Mark Rober, the guy that he actually lives, I think, somewhere around here.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
around
in
here.
like Winnetka or something.
yeah.
I
But-
think he lives in Utah, but that's cool.
I
He
think
did
at
live
one
around
point
here.
he lived in like Winnetka or
Oh, yeah?
something.
I don't know. He worked for NASA and Google. He's
That's
like
what
a
I was
big
going to say.
engineer
NASA.
guy.
I think
He's
the,
the guy
one
that
with
did
the exploding
the glitter bomb
glitter bomb.
packages. I think was
Yeah.
while he was still in Winnetka because
He-
he had people coming by and stealing his Amazon packages all the time. So he was like, "Fuck this," and put the fart spray in there and the glitter, and then
I just
you
remember
open
it
and
looked like
chucked
it
glitter
looked like
everywhere.
it looked like that area of the world. Anyway,
Yeah, something like that. That guy's really smart. He's done some cool stuff.
yeah, he did the cool one with the foam, or what was this, the foam where
Oh, the giant chemical reaction.
yeah,
where-
yeah.
Elephant toothpaste.
elephant
yeah,
toothpaste.
elephant
Yeah, and it-
toothpaste.
Yeah.
That one was cool.
Yeah, I think he did like the
He
largest
made,
elephant.
there was like a
toothpaste
kid. There
reaction.
was like a kid's party or something, and he he made that kid's life
yeah, in
It
a
was like-
backyard. It was
in
like
a backyard.
It was
like,
gigantic.
oh yeah, I know.
remember?
It was like an amazing thing. Anyway, super interesting.
Anyway,
Anyway,
yeah, I like that
what's up, Coachy?
a lot of the like all the scientists kind of hang out together on YouTube and stuff. There's he's got a bunch of stuff that he does, and then there's this guy Destin. His YouTube channel is called Smarter Every Day, but like they do a bunch of stuff together. They did him and Mark Rober, I think, they made like an automatic kicking leg to see how far you could how far you could kick a football, how far it's possible to kick a football.
yeah.
So he like strapped some rockets and like made this super crazy high powered like
Yeah.
kicking thing and like whatever. But they totally just mess around and have fun and then put it on YouTube. But it's all based in science and it's all experiments and they teach you some cool stuff.
Huh.
Yeah. The other
I
one
like
that
that.
was the
It's
other one
good.
that was interesting, Destin has this video where he's talking about riding a bike and he's got this buddy that made him a bicycle that you steer backwards, so you turn right to go left and you turn left to go right. And so he gets on it and he like cannot ride it for the life of him.
I could see that
0%,
being so
no matter
hard.
what.
Yeah.
And then he talks about it. He's like, and then it clicked in my mind and I could ride it easy, just like a regular other bike.
After
Then
like a lot of practice.
Yeah, after like a week, he was like, I rode this thing every day
And
for
then-
2
and
hours
then
for a
now
week.
he can- now
and
he-
then he got back on his bike and he couldn't ride it for shit because
Yeah.
he got his brain to switch over to left is right and left is right and right is left.
Yeah.
And then he went to Amsterdam and was riding that bike around and like was messing with all the people because they're big bike town, whatever. And then he got on a
yeah.
regular bike and they were making fun of him because he couldn't ride it. And he's like, well, it's because I've been playing with this. Then he's like in Amsterdam and he's like, look, see, I can't ride a regular bike. And then all of a sudden it snaps back and he's like able to ride the regular bike again. And then he goes back and gets on his backwards
can't,
bike and he
right.
can't do it.
Yeah.
It's just weird. The brain thing. That
Amsterdam
like
is freaking nuts with the
With the bikes?
Like honestly, it's so crazy there that I would be afraid to ride a bike, and I would be afraid to drive a car.
We thought we were gonna Remember when we were going and we thought we were going to get bicycles? And it was
we
gonna
did
be
get
like
bikes and we did like the countryside.
Well, but that was like far out
I wouldn't
of
do it
the
in the city. Like,
Amsterdam
oh my
itself, the bikers are crazy there.
Well, they like ride in the street, right?
Oh yeah.
God. Oh yeah. But
They ride
there's
everywhere.
so many bikes. It's like
it's I think the only place where there are more bikes per capita than people. It's
Yeah,
like,
there's-
it's like 1.9 bikes per person.
So
in the city.
When
many
we arrived,
bikes.
actually,
So
I'm
many
thinking
bikes.
about it. I remember when we arrived on our
they
way
have parking
into the city,
garages
there
for
was
bikes.
barges full of bikes. Just you see them
I've
on
seen
the,
those
on the
where you
water.
like they've got those like
the size of the parking lot in downtown, like multiple levels, and it's
All
literally.
bikes.
I looked
They've
at
got
Dad
like
when I
a-
saw it. I was like, "How would you ever
now-
even know which one is yours?"
I don't know if this is
I
what
saw
you're
that
talking
in
about,
like Japan or something.
but somewhere they've got like a Carvana like storage locker for your bike where you go in, check your bike, and they put it in a machine and
disappears.
it goes underground and they put it somewhere underground.
The
Someone
dude
put a
GoPro
camera
on it.
he put his GoPro
sure.
on it and dropped it down and it only went to the first level, so then
The
he
other,
did it
the
like
other
3
cool
more
one is
times to see it.
They have a boat that'll go around and start metal detecting and pulling stuff out of the water. And I mean,
Pull bikes out
yeah.
every day.
everywhere you and frankly,
Oh,
the thing
sure.
that I thought was nuts when I went to Amsterdam was how close the car parking was to the water. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you're like, it's just a little chain, and then it's a 12-foot drop
Right,
into
or
the.
like a lip of brick this high along
Right.
the outside curb. Good luck.
Cool, man.
So cool.
And in the era before backup cameras, like
Yeah.
like
Whoops.
Yeah, I hope the chain's not rusty.
even if
Having
you
a
just
car
get
there
one
would be a
tire
giant pain
over,
in the
like
ass, I
you're.
bet you.
It might be going.
Oh man.
Yeah, no.
What a great place.
Oh, it's so beautiful. there.
Oh, Amsterdam.
Oh, Amsterdam.
So,
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. During the 2023 NFL season.
Oh,
yeah.
Lord.
Is this a question or a comment?
I don't
This
know,
is
but
just
I'm
a statement.
answering
This
it.
is crazy. During the 2023 NFL season, Tyreek Hill got more women pregnant
Then
than the Panthers won games.
yeah. How many did he get pregnant? I think he got 4 girls pregnant.
Three girls pregnant.
Nice.
Yeah, so he's on that
he
Nick.
on that
He's on the
team?
Nick Cannon trajectory.
Is he on the Panthers?
No, he's on the Dolphins.
He was Miami. He was on my fantasy team.
But
this year.
he got
He
more
got in
girls
some
pregnant
trouble.
during the season than the freaking
he was
That's
Panthers won
so
games.
He wasn't the guy on the
gross.
college campus, right, Mace? Who was that?
On the college campus.
That
You
like
gotta give me a
fought
little more
4
than that.
guys.
Oh no, that was Alvin Kamara, I think. No,
Cam Newton.
Cam.
Newton.
Oh, it was Cam Newton. Yeah, no, that was like 2 weeks ago. Kamara was in a club last offseason and knocked somebody silly.
Yeah.
And he got in a lot of trouble for that. No, Cam was at like a frat party somewhere. Probably, I don't know.
No, I think he was like supposed to speak or something.
He was at like a college somewhere. I mean,
Well, and
Auburn
when an
would be my
NFL
first
player's
guess.
at a
That's
college,
where he
it's
went.
a frat party. Let's be.
right.
no, I'm whatever. But my thought process there was he's probably at Auburn, which is his alma mater. So whatever.
I think that's
But,
where he was. Yeah.
he was in wherever he was. Like 6 dudes came up and tried to jump him, and he like single-handedly fended all of them off.
Took care of business.
He also like
and his hat stayed on the whole time. He's also like 6'5", 260 pounds.
So he didn't just beat them all up. He
he got them
fended
off of
them
him.
off and kept them off of him. He put out a public apology for he did something to help it escalate, I think. He took responsibility for that, apologized, and then within legit 30 seconds, security was all over that situation.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't he definitely did
Was it
not
like-
beat the hell out of 6 college kids.
No.
It was like 6 college kids tried to jump him, and he did admirably well getting them off of him and keeping himself safe. It was like, oh wow, yeah, none of you have any business trying to hurt this guy at all. He's
Cam Newton.
It's almost like
completely out of
he's
out of your range.
trained to handle a bunch of people running at him with the attention.
Oh, the memes were absurd. Someone posted a video of him just absolutely traumatizing the Denver Broncos line in the Super Bowl. He like throws Von Miller, and they're like, the caption's like, "You really thought you could beat this guy up? I don't care if it's 6 of you. It's 11 on him right here, and he gets by.
Yeah, he does amazing things because he's avoiding people, doing like the quarterback thing. I saw a video today of Steven Seagal.
Oh man,
goodness,
dude,
is he still?
Just listen to this. It was nuts. You guys
He's
got
to be like 70 years old.
You have to look up this video.
Sure.
Because I'm watching it, and it legitimately is like the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. He's in his like gi, and he's like standing there, and he's like the big white guy, right?
Yeah, right.
And he's got like 4 or 5 Asian dudes that are also in gis coming at him, right?
Yeah.
They're each like a foot shorter than he is, and they come at him like
It's like
and they come
like
at him like
judo, right?
They come at him like kind of respectfully, like they're not like all coming at the same time. They're coming like one, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next, and he's like, good, and he's like doing his hand things, and he's karate chopping them, and then they're falling, and then he's doing this, and then he'll do like the backflip
His
thing,
supernatural
and
ability.
he'll like take them and twist their arm and flip them over, and then he'll like put a knee into. He's doing this stuff, but it looks like
Ridiculous.
total bullshit,
Choreography.
and so dumb. And then I start reading it, and it's like, and it's literally going off about like all this dude's credentials in martial arts. It's like Steven Seagal started, training in martial arts when he was 7 years old. He trained like some of the Russian like army folks how to do.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, he's
martial arts.
legit.
No, like KGB.
This shit that
All
was
over
this
Asia.
stupid video
People
was like
love him.
super real, and it was like he was proud of
There's
it.
it's a certain martial art that's
But it
like
looks
about
so
like
dumb.
throws. It's not judo, right? Is it?
No, it is.
Is it judo?
It's judo.
It's like
Judo
it's like,
is all about like they wear the gis in judo, and in competition you're allowed to grab their clothes and stuff.
It's all about, like,
it's
leverage
all
and-
about
and
leverage
throws.
and like exactly.
So it's defense, right?
It's-
No
it's-
offense.
no
It's just
striking.
It's
defense.
you're not hitting
Yeah.
them. It's they're coming at you, and you're
Yeah.
picking apart what they're doing.
Yeah,
and
well.
putting them on their ass.
it was
before they
pretty
know
impressive to
what's
Dad.
up.
Let's leave it at that.
No, it was pathetic.
I'm
And
totally
honestly,
picturing-
I
'Cause it
feel
looks
like
fake.
O'Malley could have taken all 5 of them, or including Seagal.
What I will say is like a lot of I saw something interesting along those
O'Malley.
lines with I saw something about Chuck Norris the other day,
Oh, Chuck was a badass.
but he and Bruce Lee were actually like homies, and apparently Chuck Norris was the one who was like before they met, Bruce Lee was like, there's no point in like kicking people, it's stupid, kick them in the legs, like whatever, but there's like he had like you don't kick people above the waist, it's not cool kind of a thing going on. And Chuck,
Bruce Lee?
yeah, and Chuck was the guy
It's
who
so
was like,
disappointing.
and Chuck was like, no, roundhouse those motherfuckers,
Kick
like
him in the face.
do
dude.
it. And then but that's where like the like flying kicks and stuff was, because Chuck was apparently because Chuck Norris was like, no, this is a
Cool.
logical strategy, do it,
So
you
like
will
it.
take people by surprise
So what you're saying
and kick their asses.
is Father Sensei Chuck Norris taught Bruce Lee.
Yes, but he
that
also learned
the flying kicks were the way to
not
way
the
to
flying
win
kicks,
fights.
just roundhouses, high kicks in general, because
roundhouse,
Bruce Lee
roundhouse to the face.
previously
to the dome.
Yeah, previously Bruce was a proponent of kick low if you're going to kick
Just
at
kick
all.
him in the nuts
Don't
and run.
No, but kick him in the legs because it's disrespectful to kick people in the face. But it's also like, I don't know, karate. Although that's
Karate.
I don't really have a
Karate.
super
What was
strong
it?
grasp.
Karate,
The karate, shorate.
Karate.
Karate.
Yeah.
We'll put that up on the Facebook
Yeah,
page at some point soon.
we'll clip it. Don't worry.
Cool.
The karate.
I first I saw a Chuck Norris clip for the first time ever of him actually doing a Chuck Norris joke. I didn't know that he like
Oh,
knew
yeah,
the
no,
Chuck
he got
Norris
into it.
jokes were
Oh.
a thing.
Oh,
I
he
think
does.
He was. I think it was something to do with like a lion or a tiger or something. He was like, "Yeah, I once met with this trainer, and he introduced me to the tiger, and he was like, oh, you might want to back off because you can smell your fear. And so, the tiger backed off and went on its business. And it was, one of the like dumb Chuck Norris jokes of like, oh, I can smell.
Oh, like they were worried.
It was like,
tiger.
oh, I can smell fear.
And Chuck Norris is like, I have no fear.
No,
he's
the
like,
tiger
be
was
careful.
fearful.
He was like, be careful, it smells fear. And the tiger was like, oh, yeah, it does smell fear. I should leave. That was the joke, right? I didn't tell it like Chuck would have told it.
I mean, that whole thing is kind of funny because to me, I honestly
Chuck Norris doesn't get wet. Water gets chucked.
until I was probably like 12 or 13.
There's a lot of stupid Chuck Norris
Put
jokes.
that on my grave.
They're funny as shit.
Until I was like 12 or 13, I had no idea who Chuck Norris actually was outside of those jokes. Zero reference for him. I knew who BruceLee was, but
and Gramps did it. Gramps loved Walker Texas Ranger too.
Walker.
Walker Texas Ranger. Friday night.
So are you saying, Mason, that there's a chance you knew who Chuck Testa was before you knew who Chuck Norris was?
Testa.
yeah, I probably did. I obviously know Chuck Norris's name. I just only knew the jokes. I didn't know that he was like
You
a
had no
karate.
real
He was in
reference
like
for
the kung fu movies and stuff. Enter the Dragon.
American badass Chuck Norris.
Yeah. I don't know if he was actually in Enter the Dragon, but I think
he was American.
I think
Chuck's American. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, I think
Not American.
Enter the Dragon is the
Segal
one where
or
he
Steven
fights.
Russian.
I don't think he's Russian. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
He gives me he reminds me. I don't know.
I worked for a while with Sonia Dada when I was a young man doing guitar tech and stuff, and Hambone, Chris Cameron, the Chicago elite piano player, organ player. He had the right rig, right? The B3 with the clav and all of that. The whirly. And I would help him move that stuff around town for a couple of years. And one of the cool gigs that he got, and I don't remember what band it was that he was in, but they got to be like the band on the boat in the movie, the Segal movie.
Oh, I remember that movie, Under Siege.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
So he was
so
in,
weird.
Wait, so he was in Captain Geach in the Shrimp Shack.
Yeah,
Shooter?
something
He
like
was
that.
a Captain Geek.
Steven Seagal is local to Lansing, Michigan. He was
Him and
So he wrestled Black Bear when he was a boy.
maybe
And ate black squirrel.
it's possible.
Remember when Noah tried to tell us that black squirrels only lived in Michigan?
That's totally a thing.
They
Look
did
it up.
for a
Totally not.
while.
I saw one
Look it up.
No, they did
Look
for
it
a
up.
while. They're moving now, but that's
Look it up.
because of the
They've been
climate
around.
change.
They've been around here.
Don't accost me with your squirrel.
I will
bullshit.
say I literally had never seen a black squirrel until I went to Michigan when I was like 12. But
I had seen him when I was a little boy.
I ain't
I'm
never
dead serious.
seen no black squirrel around these parts.
they got brown ones too, red ones,
Red squirrels.
flying ones,
Flying squirrels.
which actually glide.
Have you ever seen a space squirrel?
No, but I
yes.
bet they're
Square
rad.
bands.
Sandy.
Sandy.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Sandy
Love Sandy.
cheeks.
All right.
Sandy.
Sandy cheeks.
What do you guys got? Did you guys bring anything to this podcast, or is it
I
just?
need a
Am I
break.
just driving?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sorry. I was waiting.
Hey, it's good to see you over there. It's nice to be seen. For free. You can like us on YouTube. We'd prefer if you did. You can subscribe to our channel. We'd like it if you did that. You can follow us on Spotify if you're so inclined. And you can leave us a review on JobsPod, otherwise known as Apple Podcast.
Yeah, if I do. I'm gonna start associating a sound with pontoon trivia, if that's okay.
Trivia.
What sound is it?
The sound of a boat engine.
You're gonna try and do it yourself?
I want to
I'm just
hear
gonna
it.
go. Oh well, I can't do it.
That was the quickest ejector seat moment of.
I can't do it because I'm smiling. You guys get me all smiley. Yeah.
We'll just get a good audio recording of our Merc 15 rolling and ripping.
Yeah, no, that's
We
all.
got to do some work.
It's
on
gotta be.
it.
It's gotta be.
I want to record from the lake. I can't wait for lake days.
All right, here you go. This is the intro sound. It goes like this. It's time for a pontoon trivia.
All right, cool.
What was that?
It's Pontoon Trivia!
That's right.
Da, 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 da,
Okay.
da.
You got to make it longer than that. You like make it like 2 seconds.
Okay, so I'll.
right.
I'll
Hold on. Nice,
that's right.
nice.
It's time for a pontoon trivia. Are we ready?
Oh, I think I am. I'm excited. I'm gonna make that go from left to right across the speakers.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
panning.
Automated panning. Get me excited.
Oh, Lord.
You gonna
Don't get
screw
me
us,
excited.
Mace?
No,
Every week.
this is
Well,
a
we
love
got it
song.
last week. Last week's beta band.
Oh, okay. It's a love song.
Dry
This
the
is
rain.
a love song. Specifically,
It's just an old-fashioned love song.
specifically
Kenny Loggins.
about an imaginary love.
I think that this is the answer is going to be the name of a song. Not,
The
not an
Pina Colada
artist.
song.
No, the Pina
What-
Colada
what-
song is about a girlfriend that he has. Whatever. This is a song that was
Imaginary
written
love?
by Gary Bonner and Alan Gordon in the early '60s about an imaginary love. This song was turned down by 12 bands before it was picked up by its initial recording artist.
Is the initial version the most
Kim
famous?
Carnes.
By far.
Okay.
It's a song title. Would be the
The
answer.
answer is the song
Not
title.
an artist name.
Okay.
This song has been covered by the Vogues, Frank Zappa, and Weezer.
I can't see
among
me
many
loving
oth-
nobody but you.
Yep. It's Happy Together
Happy
by the
Together
Turtles.
By the Turtles.
Yep.
Also known as Flo and Eddie.
Well,
Also, I mentioned
Flo and Eddie
earlier-
are two of the guys from the Turtles.
I'm
left,
aware.
joined the Mothers, and then became Flo and Eddie.
And my friend Esky, Eric Scott, the bass player from Sonia Dada in Chicago, actually played with Flo and Eddie.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
Sonia Dada's coming up a lot tonight.
Yeah, I know. It's
So,
fun.
yeah,
And he played with Alice Cooper.
yes,
And he's the one that told me all those
he wrote
crazy
some
Alice
songs.
Cooper stories.
Well, these Gary Bonner also wrote some songs for Alice Cooper, I think.
So is Gary Flo and Eddie one of those dudes?
No, he's
No.
not. He just wrote a song for
I think
them.
this is the first time we didn't need all the hints.
Yeah, so you
right?
guys nailed it. It was absolutely Happy Together by the Turtles.
Imagine me and you.
I
I
do.
do.
The only other fact I had was that they took this song on after 5 consecutive releases of theirs flopping, and they were considering breaking up as a band. And then they got a hold of the demo from Gary Bonner and Alan Gordon, which they cite the reasoning behind the 12 previous bands turning it down. They said that was largely because the demo sounded like dog shit. But they played it for the Turtles. The Turtles started playing it live and got good crowd reactions, then took it to the studio and put it out in 1967, and it ended up, I think, being a #1 hit.
Well, that is
After-
a very neat.
I love that song.
After
you know what? I
5
love that.
consecutive
I love
flops
those
from them.
stories. I love those stories. Have you guys? I was listening to my Discover Weekly, which I do, and there's
The
this.
Spotify playlist.
Yes, the Spotify.
Yeah, my Discover Weekly. I try and listen to it every week, and I've mentioned, I think, here before, it's always funny because there's some songs on there that it's like, oh, what a shock.
I
You
just
know,
have never listened
Hotel
to the
California, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Who plays that?
I just haven't listened to the 4th version of it.
Actually, it's funny. This one, there was an NRBQ song on this one, which our friend Henry
Nice.
played with recently at Space. There's spinal meningitis. Ween made it this week, which is funny. And other than that, it's nothing with a lot of listens. The point, though, what you reminded me of with the Flo and Eddie story is you actually reminded me of like Finding Sugarman. Is that the name of the movie?
Searching for
Sugarman.
Oh, that just came up with
You know,
somebody else I was talking to.
Rodriguez is the
Yeah,
artist.
he just died actually relatively recently, like in
think
the
like
last month or so. Maybe a couple.
Yeah, I think it
Either
was like
way,
6 months ago, but
it's like
still.
that band that did something, and then something weird happened, and the music never really made it out, and then all of a sudden, 40 years later, people are like, "What the hell is that? That's amazing! How did we not hear this?" And that record, Rodrigo, I listened to. Some of that stuff's on my world famous playlist. But I found one. There's one on my Discover Weekly this week that I was like, "Who the hell is this?" And it was one of those where I'm like, "This sounds old, but I think it might be new." And they're like, you know what I mean?
Like someone just
Well, you know how there's
rediscovered it
bands
and
out
put
there
it
that
back
you
out?
find. Who's that band that you saw that opened up for Nathaniel Ratliff at Salt Shed?
Oh, I totally cannot remember at all.
Lori would know.
I can tell you in
It
one
doesn't
second.
matter. The point, that band, it's like they have like it's a new band with an old soul and an old sound that it just sounds like
Like the
if you-
Sheepdogs?
If you put like the Sheepdogs or something like that. But if you put like the vintage filter on the audio quality, you'd be like, this was from 1970.
Oh, or the who are the brothers that sound like Led Zeppelin?
Oh, the Lemon Twigs?
No.
No.
Greta Van Fleet.
You're thinking
Greta.
Greta Van
Greta
Fleet,
Van
yeah.
Fleet.
But this
Yeah.
is a little. This is more like Motowny.
The Sacred Souls.
The
It's
Sacred
spelled
Souls.
THEE.
Yeah,
Sacred Souls.
It's another band where it's like it's a modern band, but they sound like they could be old.
His voice is
Great.
absurdly good.
Yeah. All right. So this song that came up is called "You and Me," and it's by the band that is called. This is a great name, Penny and the Quarters. It's old, and someone found it in a garage sale. Someone found 2-inch tapes. And then they dug and they dug and they dug and they talked to everybody at the old, record label that knew anything about anything and tried to figure out who the hell this was.
Yeah.
And they eventually got somewhere, but they didn't get very far. I looked up the discography. It looks like they found about 4 or 6 songs. That's all there is. But Penny and the Quarters. It's like an old doo-wop band, and she's got a great voice, and the songs are fabulous. And this song was it was a head turner for me. It was one of those I knew instantly, or within 5 seconds. I was like, "What is this? I like this.
Cool.
Give me more." And
That's
then, of
the
course, there's
best.
like 4 songs.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is the best. There's nothing like finding a new band,
A new old band.
a new old
It's
band.
like new old stock.
It's a feel good moment, and it's actually a moment of sadness too, right? Because it's like, oh my God, you were talented. Like you could have done something, and it never really happened. Remember, Sugarman was like living in like squalor.
Yeah, he was like he had played some shows, and then some chick took a cassette of his to South Africa,
And then he got huge- and then
he
somebody
was huge in South Africa.
Well, somebody
but
they put out his
yeah, they
bootleg,
took the bootleg tape and put it out.
and they were making all the money off of it and didn't.
And then
notify
someone was
him.
like, "This is fucked," and went and found him and was like, "Yo,
Everybody
there are
assumed he
people
was
making
dead, but he
money off
wasn't.
of your
Yeah,
music.
and then
Go
he-
get it."
And then he played like Royal Albert Hall or something.
Yeah, he like started touring and
Yeah.
made a little money before.
He played.
He
played
he-
Chicago. He played like City Winery or something.
Didn't he
that. Yeah.
they like said he set himself on fire at his like last concert? And
I think there were
that's how
stories about that he was dead.
That's how
but it was all
that's how they
bullshit.
thought he died or
Yeah.
something.
What a fabulous movie that
Great
one was.
movie, amazing movie.
Really, really good story.
Oh yeah.
Really good story.
Cool.
All right,
Yeah,
do we
it
have a
was cool.
secret swimmer?
No.
No secret swimmer.
Well,
I
see, you
tried
set the
hard.
precedent
I
with a noise, and she's just scared to make a noise.
Oh
That's-
my God.
No secret swimmer makes just a drop of water, Mason.
Okay, Dad, do you have anything?
Well, I was assuming that Mom was going to have the secret swimmer, and considering she doesn't,
Well, if you give me a minute, I could find one. I tried hard to find one earlier. I
It
just
doesn't
couldn't,
sound like you
Not
tried
that
that
hard.
hard. I mean,
I didn't find anybody that I could find like interesting facts on that were going to be
No one's
fun.
interesting anymore.
I don't know.
It's okay. We could just look at Coach for a few minutes.
Wah, 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 wah.
He's a cutie.
He is a cutie.
He made me nervous. He sat down on Dad's mic cable a second ago.
Yeah, we got to be careful.
He's a thick pup. He could definitely rip a cable.
Yeah. 60 pounds of meat. That's a thick puppy.
About to be 58.
Yeah. I don't think they're a pound each.
I think you just stepped into something. So,
Here we go.
Stepped into yesterday.
was that intentional? Was that like,
What?
would he talk about this or no?
I know where we're going with
This
this.
has been going on for. This has been
So,
going on all day. Noah
okay,
said to him
so-
earlier, "Are you going to be sad when you come home on Monday and you don't have
Well,
your
I've tried to
balls
pre-
Yeah,
anymore?"
I've tried
So-
to prep Coach for
Okay,
his...
so coach is about to turn 10 months old, and that means that he turns 10 months old on Monday, and that's when he will be getting his testicles removed. However,
Everybody in this house that's a boy seems to be having a hard time with this.
oh no, I'm okay with it. He's gotten a
I
little
don't
bit.
object.
He's
He's a
gotten a
little
little horny, hyper.
He's a humpy dog.
Yeah, he's getting a little much.
He's had an opportunity to go through a pubic change,
Yeah.
right?
So
A pubic
we
change.
He's got his man voice now, you know.
so he's coming to the end of his tenure with testicles, and
Sad.
father seems very
Really
concerned
concerned.
about his self-confidence and self-image, and so he began looking into some alternate opportunities to maintain the
psyche?
the psyche or the ego self-image
self-image.
of the pupper.
His sense
so,
of self.
So how were we going to go about maintaining the self-image of
Well-
the dog?
What I was thinking was that we could get him implants, which led to some other funny
Testicular
conversations.
implants.
That would be like, could we make them out of titanium so they clanked every time he
That
walked?
was my call.
That was a good one. That was pretty funny.
magnetic ones would be good. I suggested. Then we could just we have a magnet fishing magnet. There was
Just reel it
suggestion.
back in.
No, there was suggestion
could
of then
walk
we
him
could
with
just
it.
walk him, just
We could walk him
magnetized
from behind.
to the sack. Just walk him from the nuts. Yeah, I don't know. Don't let him.
So I did some research and I found out that there is such a thing. There's a company out there that is making them, and they are called prosticles, prosthetic prosticles, right? And
I think we should just get him some truck nuts.
so I asked Jen to hook it up, right? And
He asked me to call the
Make
vet.
it happen.
and
hook it
see if
up.
we
Let's
could
get this dog.
addressed.
Let's
No
get this
matter the
done.
cost.
And I refused
Clink, clink,
to call
clink,
the vet
clink,
because
clink.
I am not calling the vet for this because I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
I think that there's like some inside knowledge that like Jen deals with like almost like all of that stuff. I don't
All the testicle stuff.
know. Like
All the
she
doctor's
just deals
appointments.
with all of the stuff.
I
And-
run the house.
Yeah.
I do all the house stuff.
She runs all of the house, and so and I don't. I just don't. I typically don't call the vet. It's not a normal
He
thing
didn't
for me to
even
do.
know where to call. I
Yeah.
had to tell him the name of the vet so he could Google it because I refused to give him the phone number.
So
So he called.
But
I
he got
called.
it out of you.
I called, and it was like,
I was thankful you did not give our name, although
Did
I
they
don't know
laugh?
that there are any other dogs scheduled to be fixed, so they probably know that it was
Hi,
you.
this is Coach's dad.
Did they like? Was there laughter?
apparently Coach is famous at the vet because
Oh,
he's
they
so
love
freaking cute.
him.
But I called, and I was just like,
Was she
hey.
amused, the girl that answered?
She just was very medical about it.
Did
you
it
know?
seem like this is a question she's received before?
I would have liked to seen her face when I asked what I asked.
So
'cause
she
I'm-
was good on the phone.
She was very professional, but I think her
Okay.
eyes got big. Like if I could,
You think she was
I
like?
think she was like, "Oh my gosh!" He
We
just
don't
asked
offer
me
those.
if we could get.
Did he just
prosthetic
ask what I
fake
think
nuts.
he asked?
Yep.
fake nuts
So-
for the puppy.
It was a very quick answer. It was she didn't have to think.
Definitely not.
The answer
sir.
is no, sir. We do not do that. And then I told her, I'm really sorry, but you can cancel the
That is
appointment.
not true.
I will take my business
And I
elsewhere.
will take my business elsewhere because I don't want my puppy to feel like he's less of a man.
Emasculated.
Because he's not. He's a strong, growing boy. And I
Meanwhile,
want him to have confidence.
Meanwhile, it is our Mastiff Edison's.
Don't take that from him.
Meanwhile,
it's funny that you think that that's where his confidence comes from.
meanwhile, it is our Mastiff's Edison's
birthday.
7th birthday.
Eddie.
And there was nary a thought about getting him prosthetics when that time was.
Technology
upon
has
us.
adapted and
had-
evolved,
So have we.
Mason.
I don't think that.
Ed seems fine without his nuts, which is why I'm sure that Coach will also be okay without his.
I think that Ed will actually probably be thrilled.
You didn't really seem to be worried about getting June a new uterus.
Well, you can't see that.
Oh, so it doesn't matter?
No, not one bit.
I
Not
think
at
that
all.
the dog that can look and be like, "Whoa, that's missing." I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna elaborate anymore.
You did this to me.
I did ask Noah
You
if,
did this
if
to
Noah
me?
thought that he will know what happened. Like, do you think when he gets home on Monday, he's going to be like, where the hell are my nuts?
I'm actually really interested in seeing what they do because my girlfriend's sister, sister's family got a puppy who is probably a month or two older than Coach, but is not a bulldog. So he was neutered a couple months ago. The bulldogs you have to wait a little bit longer for development reasons, but I was baffled. They sent their puppy home in a freaking onesie.
Oh, yeah, they do that now sometimes.
Like, I don't know if he was not happy in that onesie at all.
I'm not putting Coach in a one.
I'm gonna say like we got to get a cone for this guy because
I'm going to get him like the little inflatable thing.
the neck pillow.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't just for style.
No, I am a little worried about keeping June away from him.
Like yeah, okay, yeah. June's
She likes
the
to
problem.
like lick him.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
true.
she likes to lick his face. She likes to lick Ed's face. She's like a little grooming fish.
Yeah, I don't think she'll go down there though.
She's like a wrasse.
She leaves Ed's member alone.
Dad, you
don't
just
think he'll
like
go
checking the
deep.
stock market, sending an
There's
email. What's
Eddie.
the plan here?
It's
You
your
scheming
birthday,
something?
Bubba.
Planning.
Well, I was going to try and come up with a quick secret swimmer because Mom
all right.
abdicated from her responsibilities.
Abdication.
She had
That's
one.
such bullshit.
active-
No,
Accusation.
actually, you did. You're like, I looked really hard, but you clearly didn't look
Dad's
that
looking
hard.
for
I'm
a
very
grift.
disappointed. I could come up with some really good facts.
Oh no, that's
I was
okay.
whipping out some Venetian plaster today, my dear.
Zag on us,
You don't
Dad.
need to fax me. You could just text me a picture.
All right, Dad, let's go. You got it?
Do I have what?
Something.
Yeah, I have something. Sure. How about this?
We could do like a-
whose voice sings "I'm loving it" for the McDonald's ads?
What?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I mean, it has to be more than one person
It's
over the years,
changed,
for
right?
sure. I would assume.
Okay.
Did you know that Jake from State Farm's real name is Kevin? The new one. The old one actually bartends in Bloomington, Illinois. The original Jake from State Farm.
He does?
The original Jake from State Farm is
He
a
was-
bartender
he was great.
in the
What are you
Bloomington,
wearing? Khakis.
Bloomington, Illinois, which is the home of Illinois State University.
Oh my gosh, the wife in that is the girlfriend from The Hangover. What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Is that the?
That's the one that goes up to Ed
Helms?
Helms.
She's-
And where is your tooth? What is going on?
Oh gosh, that movie is splendid.
The
That movie's great.
the voice that I was looking for was Justin Timberlake.
Gotcha.
Really?
Justin Timberlake.
Cool.
He's coming to town this summer.
Another fun fact: Mozart sold more CDs than Beyonce in 2016.
Okay, it's
You
understandable.
touched on a nerve.
Beyonce or
Little bit.
Mozart?
No, Beyonce's
We did go-
striking a nerve with me.
We did go see the Mozart moving
She's
art thing.
She's apparently coming out with a new record that's a bunch of covers of country songs.
A couple
It's out.
original songs too, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's original.
So my
music on
problem
there.
is that I have vivid memory in my head, and I'm sure she probably would be sad that anybody remembers this, but I have vivid memory in my head of watching her and her husband at the Grammys laughing and pointing and being so disrespectful to Chris Christopherson on stage when he won that award.
It wasn't Chris Christopherson.
It was somebody big. It was somebody like big and important in the country music world. And they sat in the front row and were so rude and disrespectful. They were literally like pointing and laughing and heckling. And now you're going to come out with a country album because you need the sales and country's big right now? Really? Like, that's what it feels like to me.
That's a little crazy. I don't remember that.
It was like obnoxiously awkward. Kanye was with them.
Well, yeah, that seems like a Kanye kind of a thing. I will say, I feel like there was something else that happened. Oh, didn't Jay-Z get up this year and say something about how Beyonce got gypped out of an award? Again? Like, someone, I think that happened again this year.
Yes, he did.
Or she should have won Album of the Year.
I wish I could
or
remember
something.
which country guy it was. It was a Lifetime Achievement Award. He had really bad. It was Glenn Campbell.
Oh, okay.
It was Glenn Campbell. He was
one of
getting
the
a Lifetime
founding
Achievement
fathers of
Award.
country
He was
music.
he had Alzheimer's, I think, very badly. I think it was his last appearance in person ever. He was clearly very sick when he came, and
It was really moving.
they
though.
it was a big deal, but they definitely seemed to not be taking him very seriously or paying, it didn't
Any
seem
respect
that cool.
to the situation.
Her dad did come out and say something about how she has absolutely loved country music since she was a little girl, and she spent a lot of time with her grandparents who lived, I think, down south or whatever.
And that's where she got it from.
That's where she developed her love for country music. And you know what? That's totally cool. I don't give a shit if she's coming out with country records. You know what? Country's crossing over in a big way. Look at you and your friends. Like, you guys love the country music.
Well, and there's I think the big thing
Lori just went and saw
Zach
Luke.
Bryan.
Zach Bryan.
Zach Bryant. Zach Bryant had.
It's hard because there's Zach Brown, Luke Bryan, and Zach Bryan.
And she had, he had brought Casey Musgrave. Cole
she was
Kmet,
so
the tight end
excited.
from
Yeah,
the Bears,
Cole
came
Kmet
out and
came out
sang
and sang a song.
the revival song.
Yeah,
There's
I will
all
say
sorts of activities,
there's
all sorts of crossover. Country's big.
Country's
That's good.
huge.
Beyonce's cashing in on it. At the end of the day, it's probably good for country. The funny thing is, it will be to see how they're perceived, because you got people like our girl Margo Price, who kicks ass, who kind of got the finger from the CMAs, from like the Country Music Awards. John Prine was forever like kind of outcasted. Country music
Really?
has been.
I'll be a little offended
They're
if
a
she
little,
wins
the country
something.
music community is a little persnickety at times.
Well, but I'll,
more
like,
than
I-
a little.
it'll-
Like you can't forget. Like Willie Nelson went to Nashville because that's where you went to make it as a country star, and they didn't accept him.
he
They
went to
were like,
Austin.
no, your hair's too long. And this was actually when he had like shorter hair. It was like shorter, and it wasn't long like it is now. But they were like, you're not good. Can you see Coach just hammering on my
he's
leg?
barely in frame. I want to tip the camera.
He's
down.
you
do
can
it
do
just
it a
for
little.
a
Are you
second.
cool
I
to
mean,
show off your legs?
I mean,
or
they're
is that
very
just-
attractive legs. I'm wearing shorts, but Coach is just licking my legs like.
Oh, now
like,
you can see. Now,
Yeah,
now
no, he's going after my.
You should get a little shot of birthday boy Edison while you're down there too. The
Yeah, no,
beast.
I personally will probably be a little bit offended by
need another shower.
if Beyonce comes out and wins a country award, but if she like steals one from somebody, there's probably going to be some
I think that,
uproar.
but my point is you got the CMAs. They snub. There's a lot of snub with Margo Price.
Yeah,
with
huge.
I think. Oh my! I think Stergil Simpson, or I think you got the history with Willie Nelson. You've got Willie having to leave Nashville to go to. You got Willie needing to leave Nashville to go to Austin before he can make it, and now you got Beyonce to contend with.
Yeah, no. I what I will say, like, there's definitely been a massive resurgence in the country scene, and it's really interesting because for when I was in elementary school and middle school and even like early on in high school, it was a lot of like there were definitely people who were listening to like Morgan Wallen and Florida Georgia Line and Luke Bryan and Zach Brown and those guys.
The Chicks.
No.
The Chicks.
No, not the Chicks.
The Dixie Chicks?
No. Can I? Everybody was listening to the pop country. Luke Combs is another one, but I feel like more like especially in the last 3 to 5 years, there's been a huge uptick in new artists who are putting out old school country. Like now you have Tyler Childers who's putting out I don't know, you call it like outlaw country or whatever. It's not pop country. It's not
it's
country.
like
It's country country. It's
classic
me
country.
and my guitar and I'm singing a song and whatever. Not there's no 808 drums in the background
of those were,
or big
what do they
bass
call
or
all
any
those
of that.
songs?
But
I'm being like accosted here. I don't know. He's never done this. Like, I mean, he gets excited.
Did you put like lotion on when
No,
you got
no,
out of the
there's
shower?
nothing. I
Nothing.
just showered.
Well, you're wearing shorts,
Yeah.
Dad.
Oh, maybe that's
All
it.
that
It's all your
skin is
fault.
exposed.
It's your fault.
Okay, get down, boy.
yeah, no, but so for my people my age at least, it's definitely like there's been a large increase in people putting like new outlaw country coming out, and people are paying attention to it. Tyler Childers is huge. Coulter Wall's another big one. Stapleton, I think, really is the one who like helped spur that.
And that's real country music.
No, yeah, exactly. I'm not.
What do they call
I'm not-
all of the old songs? Like the old standard, like folk kind of.
Traditional.
Maybe that's it.
There's
Yeah.
traditional.
I don't
Then
know.
there's
I
old.
mean,
There's western.
Traditional.
Well,
country,
but, like, when I was
country
in-
western.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but when
Gospel.
I was in middle school or high school, early high school even, nobody was listening to John Prine or any of the like old school guys. There's a little bit of Willie, but everybody
There
knows
was-
On the Road Again and whatever. But nobody was listening to Willie or Waylon Jennings or you get your 3 Johnny Cash songs that everybody knows, but nobody's digging in.
Well,
There's not a lot of,
Johnny-
like-
When I was young, Johnny was like, until.
He was like, yeah,
Well, no,
He,
like
fell
the
off the
resurgence came with the American recording.
that's all Rick Rubin.
Rubin. Okay, Coachy.
He was the one who told Johnny that they should, I think he was the one who pitched "Hurt" to Johnny, and was like, "You should do this song."
No, there was like the whole.
The whole
The whole
like
entire
Man
thing.
in Black
How many
resurgence
records
thing
is it?
was
4 or 5? It was a lot.
Four, I think. I think
They're
4.
Well, it's not just
magnificent
yeah.
records.
There's a ton of crazy music in there. There's the Sting song. There's the Bonnie Prince Billy song. There's the I think there's a grunge.
The Will Oldham song.
That's Bonnie Prince Billy. There's a lot there, and then Petty, the Heartbreakers, like played background on a lot of that stuff. They did the Petty song. What Petty song did he do? Free Fallin'?
You're so bad.
Oh, You're So Bad.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
I don't remember. But
Won't Back Down.
Yeah.
well, yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Won't Back Down.
Won't Back Down.
Good job. Good call.
Hey, baby. Yeah.
Well, I won't.
Yeah, but the point I was getting at is I think a lot of the reason that it's coming back is because there's new artists who are coming out with quote unquote old country music.
Yeah.
You didn't 5-10 years ago there was nobody putting out music besides like the guys who had been around. You had obviously John Prine and all those guys were still putting out music.
No, there's a resurgence. It
But
started with the
it's-
pop.
it's young
It was
guys
the
coming
country
back.
pop stuff and the Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, and then it's
Well, and
it's
then you
been
get your,
growing.
like, Taylor Swift's
And
first
then
couple albums.
Taylor Smith was a country girl with the first record, and then whatever. It's the country pop, and then that's been transitioning, and now you're getting a
Back
kind of
into,
slightly
like,
different version,
regular-
but you're getting a wider audience. They're selling more concert tickets. Their shows are huge.
Yeah, but Beyonce's gonna be better.
Of course, she's definitely going to be better, and that's just all there is to say about it. It's go Beyonce, Bay.
It is what
it's
it is.
Bay's world. We're just living in it.
Dolly Parton
yeah,
is very
Beyonce
excited
Z.
that she's doing one of her songs, and I thought about it after the fact, and I was like, I
Why
bet
wouldn't
Dolly
you be?
Parton is excited.
Hell yeah,
Whitney
she's
Houston did
excited.
a great job when she did one of
All
Dolly
I-
Parton's
all I
songs.
had
Yeah,
heard
Yeah, she
before
wrote
today,
"I Will Always Love You," right?
Yep.
Dolly.
All I had heard today about the until today about the Beyonce thing was that she was having trouble getting on country radio stations in the South. There were a bunch of people that were like,
This is bullshit. We're
you're
not
not-
playing
Beyonce
you.
Z.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. I mean,
all
you're
right.
going to
I mean,
have some.
I heard
kind
the
of-
Dolly Parton thing too, but
They are definitely.
Yeah, you're going to have some.
Resistance.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just people that are like, this is bullshit. This is a money grab.
You're
This
you're
is
making a country
this
album
is
because
not-
that's
well,
what people
I
are
don't,
listening to.
I don't know. I haven't listened.
Well,
to the
Unless
song.
it was
I
a
don't know
racist
what
thing, which I hope it wasn't.
I don't know. I don't
I
know
would
if they're.
hope
I think their basis was like, well, this isn't country, but I didn't listen to the song.
I
don't-
haven't heard any of it.
I mean,
any of it.
I would say, based on
cares?
what I know of country music fans, they are very similar to fans we know for many different bands that we like. And, they're a little territorial, little particular, not always super welcoming to new ideas. I could see
Who
it being a thing.
cares?
You know what she should have done? She should have gotten John Mayer to play guitar on the record. Then it would have been
solve all the
okay.
problems.
Rip a sick cover of Shakedown Street.
No, a sick cover of like,
Like Older Than the
Mama,
Way
don't
song.
let your babies grow up to be cowboys.
That's who. That's Waylon.
Beyonce's gonna sing.
Yeah, that's Waylon and Willie, right?
Yeah.
That's a
J.
great
May
song.
and Bay.
J. May and Bay
And throw a little Zay in there
singing country
too.
music.
Yeah, and then Jay Z
Queen
gets
Bee.
a quick bar in. Every
Queen Bee and Johnny Me.
Yeah, one of my favorites
And then a
is
cameo with
Kanye.
Kanye and his platinum face.
no,
the
titanium.
the titanium,
titanium
the
teeth.
titanium horseshoe in his mouth.
Titanium
teeth.
dentures.
Do you think if you've got titanium teeth, you could like?
No, they're not
Walk through a metal
I don't think
detector?
they're dentures, Mace. I don't think that. I think those are like.
They're-
I think it's like caps.
No,
I don't
like I
are
believe
they
he got.
removable?
I believe he got his teeth pulled out and put in like a mouth. It's
And it was
I
like
think it's-
800 grand.
I think it's all one piece. Like I think that the teeth
On
are
posts,
connected
probably.
to each other,
Yeah.
and they just put it
Yeah,
in.
Well,
but
so-
dentures would be something
not
you could just, like,
removable.
remove
No,
out of your mouth,
but-
Well,
and it's like a
it
separate
It's a
depends.
it's
Like you-
replacement teeth. They put in titanium teeth for him.
You can get
It's like one big piece.
He's got little
We don't need to
little,
get
like,
into it.
No, we
we
don't.
really
little
don't.
rubber stoppers in between so he doesn't clank too much when he chews.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was like, could
So
you?
can
you
think
shut up,
could just, like,
Megatron?
bite
With-
open a can.
No, if
Like
he.
if you're in the
Right.
wilderness and
It's
you
like a
need to eat,
Yeah,
you've got a can of
transformer.
soup.
Well,
could
no.
you just bite it open
Do you
with
think
the
when he's-
titanium teeth?
Because I think titanium is too. Like
Yeah,
it's,
he went with the soft metal.
it's not what you'd really want.
Yeah, he's
for
got
heavy,
tinfoil
heavy
teeth.
use. You know what I mean?
Did
Probably
you
want some
do you
steel
think when he
if you
eats
were like-
do you think when he eats salad or something with a fork and
Oh.
he slides it between his teeth, it goes shing as he pulls the fork out of his mouth?
He can
Do you
like
think
cut.
it
He
feels
can
like
cut
if you
up a
bite on
steak and then
foil?
like sharpen it on his teeth.
Yeah, he's like with the knife, sharpening the knife
No,
on
you
his
know what
teeth.
it is? He's Kanye's the crazy guy to the point where he's like, all right, well now I got metal teeth. Forks used to be metal. I got to get a bone fork, so it's bone on metal again. He's got.
He's got forks and knives made out of teeth.
What are your silverware made out of? Whale bones.
Yeah.
Well, the bone on metal was great. I loved the relationship
just
between the
inverting
silverware
it.
and the teeth, but the teeth being the bone was my problem.
We
all
needed
right?
to make that metal. So
Me-
now
yeah,
we need the
I need
bone
some.
fork.
I need some
That's
bone
gotta
fork.
be kind of weird. Oh, think about okay, what do you think about ice cream? Brain freeze for sure. Metal teeth.
No.
Hot soup.
No.
Burn your mouth so bad.
No,
Conductors.
yeah, and your teeth stay hot for like 2
Right.
hours.
It warms your jaw. Imagine it. It like warms your sinuses. It's like
Oh no, that
It's
would be
Oh,
great.
yeah.
radiating
Get
throughout
up
your
in the
mouth
morning, a
and
hot
your
cup of
lower
coffee,
jaw.
and
Yeah,
it's
you
like
just hold the coffee in there for
Your
a minute.
face
eyeballs
starts
are
melting.
warmer than they'd like to be.
Nice and
nose is
warm.
running, your eyes are running,
It's amazing.
cheeks are pink.
Summer tour is, getting
Wrapping up.
underway. Tickets are on sale all over the place.
Who are we promoting here?
All
Us?
the bands.
Dad's tired of that conversation.
all the bands.
It's time to move on.
Baseball season starts in 2 weeks.
All the
Kanye
bands.
summer tour.
All the summer tours are kicking off.
I mean, that
Jam-Base
bitch
is like,
famous.
releasing all the knowledge. We know when all the tickets are going on sale.
Yeah,
Get
it's
your
pretty
tickets
magical.
now.
Phish at the Sphere is coming up.
Oh yeah.
Goose at the Cap. First shows with our boy, Cotter Ellis. Hard decisions are coming.
Wow. We.
Yep.
Phish has got a bunch of Midwest shows this summer.
The
It's
summer tour
exciting.
stuff. Like literally, there's tickets on sale
They
tomorrow
aren't they playing like 10 shows
in the
within-
Midwest. Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
have to hit
10 shows in
the
14
Midwest.
days or
gonna
something.
be
They're
hard.
doing 3 at
gonna be
Alpine. They're
difficult.
hitting St. Louis, 3
I
at
feel
Deer
so bad
Creek,
for us.
a couple in
Cincinnati or
Michigan.
Ohio or something,
No.
right?
I'm not.
No,
going
I don't
to
know if it's
Ohio.
in
about time.
Cincinnati, but I think there's some in Ohio too.
Dave, we got to get tickets for Dave too.
We gotta get
The Nutter. I don't know
All
if
right.
they go
Well,
back there.
I think that we have exhausted the allotted amount of time that we
You've
have.
heard enough, right?
I made
as a
that bitch
listener,
famous.
This is enough.
I need to go take a shower.
It's
I just got
never
like
enough.
accosted by the
I want.
puppy.
I
got-
think Coach is still ready to play.
I think I'll play with him, and then I'm gonna go take another shower because I showered like an hour ago. But
Yeah. All right.
my legs are now
I guess you're right.
Covered in dog
in
spit.
coach kisses.
Ew.
Sick.
That sounds no better. Actually,
I'm just thinking about like, if I had metal teeth, I feel like I'd be doing like,
You're still on the metal teeth.
Like
I'd
the
like-
guy from the James Bond movie.
I'd like clink
You can,
them
like-
and let them ring
Wait a
out
minute.
like the little finger symbols.
Do you think
No,
if
you
you
get a
had them,
little
you
stick.
could send the Morse code from your teeth?
What you do is you tune it, so it's a tuning fork. When you just
How do you get a
Give me a D.
How do you get a CAT scan or an
Each tooth.
MRI? Your face
You
is
can't get an
magnetic.
MRI.
you have to
Oh
put-
no, they're well. I guess titanium probably isn't magnetic.
I don't know.
that would be like an unfortunate.
I know
thing.
that like
Like,
my grandma
yeah,
can't
okay, we
have
gotta
an MRI
take
'cause
your
she's
teeth
metal in her
out
head.
in order
That's
to.
I don't think
800
titanium
grand,
is
dude.
magnetic, but I'm.
We
I don't
gotta
know.
take
it's
your
like
teeth
aluminum.
out in order to scan your head.
You can always
I
do a
thought
PET
aluminum
scan.
wasn't magnetic.
Yeah, aluminum is not
No,
magnetic.
he said I think it's like aluminum,
Oh.
meaning non-magnetic.
Ah.
But hey,
All right.
All right.
I hope to never have all metal teeth.
Yeah.
That's my sign off.
Who was it that was just telling us all the great things they saw about George Washington?
Oh no, Shane Gillis has a
metal
whole
teeth.
thing about how he's got donkey teeth and cow teeth
Yeah.
and slave teeth on the bottom.
That's who it was.
No, it's
He's like,
great
the-
because
it's
he's like
great all the way to
he's
the
like
end.
they show you everything, and it's like they're hyping you up about how he's this great president. He's an awesome dude. He's like done all these amazing things for us, and then at the end they're like, "Here's his teeth. The bottom's all slave teeth," and you're like,
Oh.
"Cool. You couldn't have showed me this at the beginning before you hyped him up for
Right.
Yeah,
4
yeah.
hours for me and
pop
got
that
me thinking
bubble.
he was the best guy ever, and then he's got slave
What a
teeth."
positive note to be, right at the sign off. That's fucking great.
Maybe we cut that part out.
okay.
Let's cut the George part out.
Let's cut everything else. We'll just have a 20-second long episode today. That's
George
did you know that George Washington had slave teeth?
And donkey and cow teeth.
Apparently.
Of course, and wooden teeth. I think too.
A couple
Or,
woodies.
or for a time.
Couple woodies.
It is what it is. You know.
Yeah.
Sorry
Cool.
I ruined it. Thanks a lot, George.
I did read somewhere that our first president, George Washington, preferred smoking some hemp leaves over
The devil's
ov-
lettuce.
over a drink of lager or ale. Thought that was interesting.
What was the source?
Was it in High Times magazine?
Yeah. Willie Nelson told me in my dreams.
it was Wikipedia. I was
It was Wikipedia.
I was discussing with
the
somebody.
crowdsourced dictionary.
I was talking about it with somebody, and I was like, dude, he grew hemp on his farm. Like, I
Dude,
bet
I'm
you
serious.
they
He
all
was
smoked some weed.
He believed in it.
You look up, did George Washington smoke weed? And the first thing that comes up is
Bet your bottom dollar.
Some people say he preferred smoking over drinking.
Wow.
When he
Crazy.
chopped down the cherry tree, what they really meant was
Chop down that
Cherry marijuana.
flower. I don't know.
Sick. Well, that'll be my first question when I time travel back to
And he could never lie.
see him.
He was too paranoid.
If you were going to time travel, is that where you'd go first?
The
No.
cherry tree?
Where would you go first?
That's a question for a later time. We don't have enough time to answer that question right now.
You know where I'd go?
Where would you go?
The future.
Where?
That was such a profound answer, dude. That was like,
I'd go to where I needed
if you
to
could
go.
go anywhere back in time, where would you go?
Forward in time. Fuckers.
If you only had one.
I said time travel. I didn't say it had to go backwards.
Whatever. All right.
If you go forward in time,
Hey, dinosaurs
can
would
you
be
tell
pretty
me
cool.
how we handle the
The Bears win the Super
the
Bowl in 3 years.
Neuralink and controlling emotions and removal of
I haven't felt
Tragic situations.
yeah, of-
PTSD
Oh, wow,
triggers.
sick callback.
Yeah.
I haven't felt pain in 18 months.
Wow.
Hit me.
Crazy.
No wonder.
Hit me.
I'd be glad to.
Noah, turn off the camera.
I'm just like a dog chasing cars. No, it's okay. Sorry, I was saying hit me, and then that was made a Joker callback in my own head. Sorry.
Cool.
It worked. Everybody
Cool.
was not there with you.
But we
Yeah.
all laughed with you.
Just like a dog.
Well, he says I'm just like a dog chasing cars, but I don't know what I'd actually do if I got one.
Yeah, I
That's
understand.
Wow.
I do know the line.
That was profound.
That's cool. Save that for your sign off, Mason. Save that for your sign off, and then we can use that as the farewell message that you impart on our listeners.
It's too late now. I'll
It's
throw you
never
another
too late,
nugget of
Mason.
wisdom. I got like 10 seconds to think about it.
No, you don't.
Dad's going first.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
I'm not
what-
going first.
what?
I'm going last.
I'm
No,
going
this goes
second to last.
I'll go first. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you had fun. I hope that we made your day. I hope that you laughed. I hope you come back. Follow us, like us, subscribe, leave comments,
Push the button.
rate us. I don't know. There's so many options. Just do them all. You've got time.
Click that little bell, and then they'll text you every time we post a video.
I'm just a dog chasing cars.
Or don't.
Or don't.
Be
Maybe
that
we
guy.
don't float your boat. That's okay.
I'll sink your boat anytime. Go ahead, Mace. That wasn't mine. Go ahead.
That wasn't your sign off, isn't I'll sink your boat anytime?
I actually think you could get a tattoo of that, and it would totally be relevant. Like, I'll shit on your good idea, no problem. I don't mind doing. I'll play that role if you
I got
need that in your
torpedoes
life.
loaded. If you need that boat sunk, I'm
just
already
sunk
aiming
your
at
boat.
it.
I'll
Shit.
sink your boat anytime.
That's not my sign off.
It
That's
works.
not. I got one.
Okay,
I got one.
okay.
I've thought about it all week.
Oh wow!
Mason.
Oh, I have to go before you?
Yeah.
Right,
I'm
Mace, like you
penultimate.
just said. Go.
I'm sailing away. And so should you. I'll see you next week.
Wow. I'd give you $1,000 if you could sing the next lyrics in that Styx song.
Set an open course for the virgin seas.
No, more than
'Cause
that.
I've got to
We're good. Don't go
be
to- don't go.
free.
Yeah. Copyright. We gotta be done.
No, it's me singing it.
No, it's copywritten. It's copyrighted.
Free
Sing
to
this,
chase
you
the
sexy.
life that's ahead of me. Okay. I'm Mason. Have a good week. I'll see you next time.
Lord and the captain.
Sleep well.
So climb aboard.
Come sail away. Come sail away. Okay.
Sorry, Noah, it's your turn, I believe.
It's all right. You know what? My farewell will just wait until next week because the vibe has been spoiled by
You
all
were
this
gonna sing
Styx
Sailing, weren't you?
shenanigans. Yeah, I'm good. I'll just send it over to Dad. It's all right.
You're not
You'll
saying
hear from me
goodbye?
next week. You just save up twice the love for me, and I'll save up twice the love for you to impart until next week.
Marco.
My turn.
Polo.
Okay. I'm ready.
I thought you were going to go, okay. Bye.
I'm ready for my close up.
Shark Ray or Jesus Ray. Either way, it's okay. Great to be with you. And also with you.
Even you, Jerry.
Thank you, everybody, for being with us. We will see you next week.